Cardinals last game, they get the win. This probably does have draft implications, but doesn't matter if it has draft implications, playoff implications. Yeah, it has draft implications. Or any of that. The home team wins. Oh, and it's gonna have playoff implications. Well then. I'm definitely making a mess this week. Let's see if it's gonna hurt me. Nope, so it is gonna benefit me, which is a little annoying. I would prefer to hurt me to balance things out, but it didn't. I've already seen the Browns roster 2 weeks ago, so we're just gonna check injury report and then get into it. Oops. Okay, I will check out their depth chart. Is looking like that right outside linebacker. The rookie Reed Walsh. Interesting. Oh, I don't think linebacker is going to be a threatening position.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. So with that, let's get up to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come in at 15-0, 1 win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. Now here's Johnson. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
This is Marshall, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lambert. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. And they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Here we go now. 3-19.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. The Browns send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Here we go.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll get this up to about the 40. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a 3rd down.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play. Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 7 catches, 139 yards.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. What?
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's got his man on the out route. And
11 minutes and already dead. This controller is going to get canned as soon as I can afford a new one.
he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Come on, let's go.
They'll look to throw again. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good.
Oh, this is my bad. I picked it way too early.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission, that's their challenge, and you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now, win the game.
Now Marshall. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. And take it right on the 30. Nice move at the 40. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And these guys locked into that #1 seed. That's been a foregone conclusion for a while now. The question on everyone's mind, can they finish the regular season a perfect 16-0?
And it all comes back to philosophy of the organization, philosophy of the head coach, and, of course, the locker room itself. What do the players want to do? And I think what most teams would do in this situation is approach it, let's win every game, but let's be smart about doing it. So it doesn't mean that they're going to go all out if, indeed, they do need to rest a few people.
Let's go!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Oh, shifty. Whoa. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
But we just saw him run the football really effectively there with 3 tight ends in the game. And any defensive coordinator, when they see that set, if they can get more bodies out onto the field, not more than 11, of course, but bigger bodies to combat what they're going to do, because that's a run-heavy formation. Those guys are out there to block 9 times out of 10, and in this case, they did it really successfully.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll go down at the 28. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd down.
It's a cool
They
graphic.
don't
The
need to run
graphic
another
they put
play
up, I
here
liked it.
before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They're going to look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that will make our score 9-0. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
To throw on 2nd down, Lambert. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Fudges up with
A
the
good
kick.
pick up there, a
They're
22.
running off in the weirdest
First down now,
direction.
but that clock rolling. Throwing on 1st down, Lambert, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Lambert. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
This is taken at about the 14. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Here we go! Brand 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Spins past him. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed he did not. They stop him. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. To throw on 3rd down. Lambert throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be caught. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Elliott good with a PAT. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll begin with a bit of a rare matchup. Tampa Bay on the road in Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals who have the lead in the second quarter. The Bengals looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. From there, we'll head to Green Bay. Check out the Packers at home, Lambeau, and they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. The Packers seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it?